What does it mean to live more with less? I'm Katie Wells, and welcome to the Maximized Minimalist Podcast. If you found yourself caught up in the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood and want to rewrite the script, congratulations, you're in the right place. I'm here to be your guide and help you take back your motherhood and achieve a simpler, more joy-filled life. Cheers to being a maximized minimalist. Enjoy the show. Real talk. I want to share two different, mistakes I made when looking at my closet years ago. And then we're going to talk about some game-changing wardrobe strategies to help. But number one is I used to think the answer to feeling good in my clothes was buying more of them, which now that I am where I am sounds silly, but I think a lot of us, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously do this. Maybe you've had thoughts like I did, where it was like, if I just had this new pair of jeans or a new white t-shirt or like all the basics or all the essentials, then I'd finally have a wardrobe that I loved, or I'd finally feel put together, or my wardrobe would feel complete. I think we all have our own version of that. If I had this, then I'd feel this, or then I'd have this. But the truth is, no matter how many new clothes I got, like none of them ever got me there. And instead, I just found myself accumulating more stuff and my closet starting to grow. And this was after I decluttered, right? And I had that same feeling. I just had less clothes, but that same feeling was I have nothing to wear. And the second thing I thought that a capsule wardrobe was like the ultimate goal. Like maybe you've had the dream, or maybe it is still a dream for you. That's fine. Like the Pinterest perfect closet filled with timeless pieces, perfectly curated and perfectly minimal. And I was like, okay, I got to follow all the rules. I have to dress like a French girl. I need the button downs, the slip skirts, and like the right essentials. And the truth was, I started to buy those thinking, oh yeah, that makes sense. This is why I need those. Here's what it's going to help me do or reach. But I didn't end up wearing half of them. And I couldn't figure out why. So these kind of two things have completely shifted. And I want to share 3 tips that are going to help you shift out of that, because it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be in that dilemma, right? We all need to start looking at our wardrobe differently. And instead of asking, what do I need to buy? We need to ask, what do I need to see? So what if the secret to a wardrobe you love isn't about adding more, but seeing what you might already have with fresh eyes? And we've been talking a lot about that on the show recently, right? Noticing what's already in front of us. So we're going to continue that. And I want to share 3 tips, styling tips that really help me do just that. And these simple strategies have helped me not only fall back in love, like with my clothes and my wardrobe, but also have helped me make sure I'm not hopping back on the bandwagon of like, buy more, which, let's be honest, it's so tempting. It's so tempting for me to be like, forget this. I'm just going to keep buying more, right? Even for me. So I get it. So let's dive in. Number 1 is to learn your style using the 3-word method, specifically personal stylist Alison Bornstein's 3-word method. So if you've been an OG listener, you've heard all the personal stylists and wardrobe consultants come onto the show over the years. And a lot of them share a similar sentiment related to defining your style with what they might call style descriptors. And I was never really able to like dial into my style descriptors because it was like overwhelming. I'm like, I don't know. I want to be cute and comfortable. It's like, who doesn't? And what I learned is those are not specific enough. Like everyone wants to feel comfortable and cute, but they're not the 3 words that define our style. And also, so I'll leave it there. So Alison's 3-word method and the specificity, let's talk about that. So the first word she suggests you choose is what she calls a practical word, which is going to reflect your current lifestyle and the pieces you frequently wear and maybe feel comfortable in. For me, this is like jeans. This is the t-shirts. I tend to be a jean and t-shirt person. All good, right? So think about, and I love the current lifestyle piece, not aspirational lifestyle, current lifestyle. The second word you're going to choose is an aspirational word. These are going to represent the style you're drawn to or you wish to embody. And I think that's an element of clothing or getting dressed we don't often think about, especially I know I wasn't thinking about this when I had 2 young kids and I was in survival mode. But I mean, you can still pick apart what works for you depending on what season you're in. And the third is emotional. So capturing how you want to feel in your clothes, which again, I think a lot of us underestimate. So when I started looking around at my closet, how I picked my words were by I pulled 5 to 10 of my favorite items. And some of them were like aspirational. Some of them were like I was pulling because of the emotion I felt. Some of them were just like the practical pieces. And I was looking for patterns in all of these. And here's what I dialed into. The first one was classic. So this is my practical anchor. These are wardrobe staples that make getting dressed really easy. Jeans, t-shirts, white tank tops, like kind of like my uniform on a day-to-day basis. And here's the thing. I know a lot of you might be thinking like, well, I wear like leggings and jeggings and sweatpants. Fine. That's fine. That's your current life. I get it. So pull those and determine what word is your practical anchor. Vintage is my aspirational vibe. I've always, since I was a child, been pulled to vintage. My grandmother was so glamorous and she has like the best style. And there's always been a piece of me that's wanted and reached for items like that. But I need to be careful because so a lot of them can be way too glamorous. Like it's not something I'm going to wear to car line or to the grocery store. But what I realized through pulling some of my pieces were that my favorite ones where I was like, oh, I can't wait to wear that, or this is why I wear this all the time, was because I had that vintage element that reminded me of my grandma. And like, I love vintage. It's just part of who I am. And that was really helpful for me because it's this word, vintage, and the next word, the emotional compass, that are like why I get jazzed up about getting dressed now. And that's the purpose, right? When our clothes aren't filling a purpose for us unless we're wearing them. Okay. So unique, retro inspired pieces, that's mine, vintage. And then my emotional compass, how I want to feel in my clothes, not on the days where I'm in sweats, but on the other days, is chic. Chic. I love that. And this was my light bulb moment, spending, I don't know how long it took me to come up with this, half an hour maybe. These were all common traits in my favorites. And another way you can do this is by like a mood board or like a Pinterest board if you're into that, or maybe look at your influencers that you follow and love and admire. How they dress can also help you identify those words too. So remember, your style is yours, and it's not about what's trending or what's in right now. It's about understanding what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. So take a moment, try Alison's 3-word method. She's on Instagram. She also has a book. I think it's called Wear What You Love. Check it out at the library. But taking time to come up with your 3 words can be so freeing and so clarifying. And it helps cast that vision for not only decluttering your closet and what doesn't align, but it helps you move forward with finding pieces that fill different gaps, but like they're aligned. And I think that alignment is what so many of us are missing because we're buying what other people tell us to buy, what works for them, what they like. Personal style is just that, it's personal. And I got tired of feeling like I was dressing like everyone else. Like to me, that's really boring. And there are certain elements of my classic pieces, like jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah, like it's nothing special. But anyway, it's really fruitful. Hope you love it. And I can't wait to hear about your 3 words and what you decide on. Tip number 2, very similar, yet different. Help me declutter and also stop buying all the time and shop with more intention when I do shop, is to discover your best colors with a color analysis. Any one of you, and I know many of you have already gotten your colors analyzed by Jeannie from Your Color Guru, know the power of having your 35 best colors in front of you or in your purse or on your phone when you shop or when you declutter your wardrobe. So if you haven't heard of color analysis, Jeannie's process is the best of the best. She examines your natural coloring, meaning your eyes, your lips, your cheeks, your hair, your skin, and your undertones in your skin. And she identifies your most flattering shades because unbeknownst to what I thought I knew about color, not all colors look great on everyone. That's just the reality. And then she gives you a personalized palette of 35 colors that you can use as a guide when you're decluttering, when you're shopping, or when you're putting together outfits. Again, I love tips like this where it's like, it's so versatile. You can use it in any way, shape, or form when you're looking at your clothing. And so the secret to feeling great and more confident and achieving all these things we want in our wardrobe, it's not about buying more. It's not about all this other stuff. It's wearing your best colors that make you look more radiant, youthful, make you feel more confident, and it removes so much of the guesswork from getting dressed. So the takeaway, if you're struggling with wardrobe overwhelm, like where do I start to declutter? Or I want to feel more confident in my clothes. A color analysis is a really great, like no think method as a starting point for a lot of you who haven't had it done. Most of my clients who get their cards, again, use it to help them declutter. They're just, you look at your card and you're like, what's not on this card? Let's start there. And it happens every single time. For a lot of us, we're not wearing and not naturally gravitating towards colors that aren't our best because they wash us out. They make us look older. I put on ivory and warm brown, which are two of my worst colors. I'm a sunlit summer. And the dark circles like pop when I wear those colors, which is why I don't anymore. So it's a great way to shrink the task of decluttering my wardrobe and just start with the colors that aren't on your card, right? And it helps get rid of so much of the noise when it comes to shopping too. When I shop these days, I use my color card as a guiding tool. Pun intended. It's not so black and white. Not every single thing I buy is on my color card or exactly a color on there, but it's really helped me, again, remove the noise and just simplify with intention in all the ways we talked about. You can, by the way, get 10% off any of Jeannie's color analysis packages at yourcolorguru.com. I'll put that link in the show notes, and you can use code CLUTTERFREE for 10% off. If I had a dime for every time one of my students said, I got my colors analyzed and it's been the best thing I've ever done, I'd have so many dimes, okay? And I'd have to go to the bank and trade them in for cash and all the stuff. So let's be glad I don't have a dime. All right, styling tip number 3 is to start taking screenshots as inspiration from either your favorite brands or your favorite personal wardrobe stylists. So confession time. Many years ago was like, I'm tired of following all these influencers. And I really wanted fashion influencers specifically because again, the noise was an issue. And anytime I logged into Instagram, I felt tempted to buy something. I'm like, that's cute. Oh, that's really cute. Oh, I guess I need a new dress, right? And I was tired of it. After taking a break, some of them I've started to follow again. But here is what shifted. I don't follow them now to be like, ooh, what's she selling me? Ooh, what's she promoting? Ooh, I want to buy that. Like instead of clicking add to cart every time I see a cute outfit, I take a screenshot of it on my phone and save it to a photo album for inspiration to use the next time I'm getting dressed. So I currently have 2 albums. I have a spring and summer album and a fall and winter. I might divvy that up into 4, but right now it is what it is. And so when I do my weekly outfit planning on every Sunday, which I started doing last year, game changer, I spend 10 minutes looking at the weather for the upcoming week, looking at my schedule to decide like, what am I doing? Am I podcasting, YouTubing? Am I just going to wear sweats? That's fine too some days. And then I plan out my outfits and I truly shop my closet. But because I'm not naturally good with styling clothes, because I just don't have that gene in my body, to be honest with you. I don't. I need to use other people's inspiration to be like, oh, I can style this pair of jeans differently or, lift the blazer arms up to see more of my wrists and wear jewelry and all that stuff. My brain doesn't think that way. I need visual images to copy. Yet, because I'm wearing the clothes that, again, with the 3-word method, I don't feel like just like a robot from doing that. It is so helpful. And gosh, it just saves so much time. So I'll just pop open those albums as I'm putting together wardrobe ideas. And it also helps me style my clothes differently because I used to be someone who used to wear the same outfit, or the same top and only one, it'd be like, okay, this top and this pair of jeans. And capturing images that other influencers or fashion stylists, I should say, wear and be like, oh, I love how she wore a wide leg bottom instead of a skinny jean. Oh, I can try that. So it's shopping your closet. And it's really fun for me. It's just something that truly fills my cup. It might not for you, that's fine. But for me, it feels like I'm playing dress up and it feels like I'm shopping because I'm like, ooh, it's like walking into a boutique and I'm like, ooh, what if this went with this, or what would that look like? Or let's try this on. And looking at the photos for visual anchor is really, really fruitful for me. And I found it really gives me the same dopamine hit that shopping does. And I'm like, oh, there's so many wins. There's so many wins from these tips, especially this one though. I save money, I avoid buyer's remorse, and I still get that fresh, new put together look. And I love it. I love it. And then I started taking photos of myself in those outfits too. And it's creating kind of a little lookbook of my own personal clothes versus just inspiration.
So next time you're going to an event or you're taking a trip or you're like, I don't know what to wear today, need inspiration, you don't necessarily have to look to those snapshots on your phone. You can look at those ones of you in different outfits you've worn and loved. So the next time you see an influencer or even the brand here, I'm going to admit this, not really anything to admit. It just seems kind of weird. Well, maybe not. Okay, you tell me. I will go on to some of my favorite brands' websites and I will snapshot different looks. So obviously they're promoting clothes to buy, but again, it's all about the intention behind it. I'm not going there to add to cart. I'm going oh, look how she styled that blazer. Cause I'm a blazer. I love blazers. Really, I do. But sometimes I wear them. It gets boring. I wear them the same way. So this is the point. So I'll go to one of my favorite blazer brands, be like, oh, look how she styled it. Look at the bottoms. Look at how she buttoned it. And this one is unbuttoned. This is what I'm talking about here. It doesn't just have to be fashion people. It can be brands that maybe you have a lot of clothes from. And when you do, or if you do these things, I would love to hear about it. So my challenge for you this week is to try just one of these tips. Maybe it's Alison Bornstein's 3 words. Maybe it's exploring your best colors or shopping your closet or taking screenshots and starting some photo albums. Just pick one and always know I am cheering you on. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode resonated, please share it with a friend, leave a review, and your support means so much. It means the whole world to me. And I can't wait to see how you use these tips to transform your wardrobe and maybe even your whole outlook on getting dressed and shopping. Until next time, you know what to do. Ready, set, simplify. Bye.